Nostalgia, as defined by Oxford Languages, is a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. While this is a typical and pretty common human thing to do, it is often used to gather attention or convince people to do certain things. Music,
Just shoot for the stars if it feels.
movies, TV
I
shows,
know where we can get one.
You want to ask the bouncer for his pen?
Yeah, couldn't hurt to ask.
Oi, mate, can I borrow your pen?
and video games, as well as weather and environments, can be strong triggers of nostalgia. In the past, nostalgia was considered a potentially debilitating and sometimes fatal medical condition for centuries, causing extreme homesickness. The term nostalgia comes from a Swiss physician, Johannes Hofer. In 1688, Hofer coined this term in replacement for the name Swiss illness, due to the frequent amount of times that it was diagnosed as Swiss mercenaries longing for their Swiss landscapes. Of course, in the modern day, nostalgia is viewed as a warm, welcoming feeling, often being correlated with childhood and youth. This is because most times that nostalgia is brought up, it is usually tied to old cartoons, childhood toys, pictures of rooms with old memorabilia, or even to other senses like smell and hearing. Nostalgia is often taken advantage of in many more ways than you might think. Most commonly, compared to other forms of use, nostalgia is used in advertisements as a way of making a person feel more connected to a product. Coca-Cola uses this every year. Can you guess which advertisement it is specifically? Coca-Cola uses Christmas to invoke feelings of warmth, joy, and other feelings associated with the gleeful holiday, using that nostalgic feeling of being a child on Christmas morning to its advantage. Well, you might think, don't people ever get sick of the Christmas ads? On the slight chance that the ads do get overused, the signature polar bear is one of the most iconic mascots in advertisement history. When some people think of Coke, they think of the polar bear. So why wouldn't it work the same vice versa? The 80s and 90s are the decades that are most commonly used in nostalgia marketing. Vans is one of the most common brands doing so. It's hard to hold it against them. The brand is rooted in their huge skateboarding culture, and skaters are often stereotypically in vintage or retro clothing in media and sometimes in real life. Vans also collaborates with big name brands that many grew up with. Some of these examples include Nintendo, the Peanuts, and even Led Zeppelin. If they haven't hooked you yet, their diehard fan base will. Vans uses its rich legacy, celebrating its journey from a niche skate brand to a global cultural icon. The storytelling approach that this takes keeps longtime fans sticking around celebrating with them, while newcomers see the legacy as a trustworthy sign that the quality and the company are worth the price tag. The price tag itself is too a pinnacle of Vans. Do you see where this is going? It is not hard for a company that simply wants you for profit to get into your mind and make it seem like you are valuable to them. For example, if we return to Coca-Cola, they earn $117.8 million a day, and an average bottle from a gas station is around $3, maybe $4 at most. A case like a 12-pack, $8 to $9 where I'm from. The point I'm trying to make is that even if you as an individual never bought a single Coke product again, they wouldn't even notice. Yet these advertisements have a way of making you feel at home. Coca-Cola has a place in my heart due to my grandmother always having her fridge stocked with it, letting me and my family, get a Coke whenever. That is an example of nostalgia. That is why I'm currently drinking one while writing this script. Coca-Cola can use nostalgia because they've been around for a century. It's so iconic for being the soda, or pop if you grew up in the same area as me, that in 1990, their slogan was, "You can't beat the real thing." Even video games are culprits of the same thing. Fortnite, easily the biggest and most obvious example. Fortnite received this feature in the past few months that allowed people to use Epic Games' Unreal Engine 5 to make maps or game modes and add them straight into Fortnite, similar to Roblox. The first thing longtime fans thought of with this feature, well, let's get the old map back, Chapter 1. This let Day 1 fans go back and relive the memories they once enjoyed back in 2017. Many longtime fans returned to the game to try out this new feature, seeing what people could create, and of course, to try out the old map. This eventually led to that one meme, "We're going home," as people did not receive what they were expecting due to the technological limits that Fortnite had. The attempts to remake the old map were often buggy, laggy, or not even playable. This could be because of the number of players, or because Epic must put a memory limit on their creations to make sure they work on all platforms. Eventually, The fans caught on and realized that the map was not the reason they were no longer enjoying the game, but it was that they watched the game change as they grew older, blaming the downfall of the game for the constant changes in an attempt to stay fresh, rather than realizing it was them changing. They longed for the days they could stay up and only worry about their next win after a long day of school. Me being one of them, of course. Nostalgia is a weapon when used in the right circumstances and the right methods. The feeling of home is used against you in lots of ways. Now, it's up to you whether you take the bait or not.